Welcome back everybody, Matt the Mad here. Hope you're doing well. This past weekend we had the new Angel Studios film, Young Washington. This is a story about, you guessed it, George Washington. I'm glad you know your history. I'm glad you paid attention in school, back in elementary school. You get a star. I was very curious about this film, number one. Came out the weekend of 4th of July, so perfect timing. Also, as we saw from the box office, it beat out Supergirl. Yes, a low-budget movie on Young Washington, only costing about $20 million to make, made more than Supergirl opening weekend. The Power of George. And my name was only made for $20 million. It made $20 million. So, and the marketing wasn't huge. So, by next weekend, this movie's going to be profitable. So, and they've already greenlit a sequel, 1776, the next stage of George Washington's journey. And that's the thing. This is George Washington Begins. Think Batman Begins, of Bruce Wayne becoming Batman, and finally becoming Batman by the end of that movie. This is George Washington, the beginning. And I'm glad they're making a sequel. They can make a trilogy of George Washington. That would be amazing. Starting with the positives, William Franklin plays George. And I've never seen this actor before. I thought he did a really good job. He conveyed a lot of range and emotion, but also that having to try to step up and overcome a lot of obstacles, both on the frontier and then dealing with, actually like leaders and military people, like a Ben Kingsley or like an Andy Serkis. And I thought he did a great job, even the little bit of romance we get with him and this other girl, I thought was really good. I thought his banter and relationship with his friends slash, I don't want to say co-workers, but other military people, I thought was great. His scenes with Kelsey Grammer worked. His scenes with Ben Kingsley were really good. The production, like I said, for only a $20 million movie, the production looked really great. Both filming on set locations, but it still looked great. To get that look of that time period perfectly. Also, like the set production, the costume design and everything, fit the period perfectly. And like I said, we don't get these types of movies anymore. Like to me, like the last one would be The Patriot, 26 years ago. Now, is this on the same level as that movie? No. That was a bigger budget film with bigger name actors like a Mel Gibson, like a Jason Isaac, like a Tom Wilkinson, Chris Cooper, Heath Ledger. But even the battles in this, especially when we get near the end, they look really good. And they look like they did a lot of practical stuff. There is some humor throughout the movie. I thought that was really good. Once again, it humanized the character of George Washington. And that's what you want. Pacing for a 2-hour movie, I thought it worked. And once again, we're going through the beginnings of George Washington's life. From as a kid to then a young adult. John Irwin is the director. He's known for movies like I Still Believe with K.J. Atma, American Underdog movie about Kurt Warner a couple years ago called Jesus Revolution. He's a pretty good director for a small studio like Angel Studios. And once again, these movies are not huge budgeted films. One of my main negatives, as much as I love Andy Serkis, Gollum, I thought he was miscast in the movie. Nothing against him, because I do like him in a lot of movies, like The Prestige, King Kong, Caesar. But for some reason, I thought he was miscast in here. I don't know why. In fact, even when I was watching the movie, the people sitting a couple seats down from me, you see the boyfriend or the husband lean over to his girlfriend or wife, and it's like, that's Gollum. So it's just a little bit of a distraction. But yeah, other than that, like I said, for a movie about George Washington, which like I said, we don't get that many movies on, presidents, especially ones back then. Since Lincoln in 2012. It was nice to see something that we don't get to see that often. This would be a perfect movie to put on in history class. Like if I was teaching a history class in elementary school or middle school, or at least middle school, I would put this movie on. Perfect movie to put on. And then, especially now that they're going to make a sequel that they already greenlit, you can do an entire history course on George Washington and put these movies on. But yeah, did you see the Young Washington movie? It's out in theaters. Let me know what you thought. Let me know in the comments below. Matt, hit that subscribe button.